right. We can talk about anything you like. Just listen. Take a walk right over to my kitchen. What you wanna do? Come mix it up with the stew. So tell me what you wanna do. Come mix it up with the stew. Yeah, come mix it up with the stew.
Welcome to another wonderful episode of The Stew. Y'all, I think it's like Wednesday. It's hump day. It's the middle of the week. So we're going to get into some humping type of talk today.
Humping type of talk?
Yes.
What's that all about, girl?
We're talking
The show just
episode. We're talking sex. We're talking vaginas, and we're not holding our mouth.
No.
So not only is it Wednesday, it's Woman Crush Wednesday. So how fitting is it for us to have the entire episode, Dr. Roseanne Knowles, come in and speak to us about what's normal down there. Did you know? Do you know? Do you know about vaginas? Well, we're going to find out today. Let's welcome Dr. I call her Dr. Nosey. Welcome. Well, talking about smelling good.
Yes.
Let's go into what should be smelling good and what happens when it's not smelling good.
Okay.
What's normal, actually?
Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to know the vagina. That's what we're here to talk about, right? It's not really cute here. Do you know what it looks like, first of all? Do you know what yours look like?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
How do you know what yours look
I
like?
could recognize mine in a lineup.
Awesome. So how can you do that?
I
How have you
check
seen
all
yours
the
before?
time.
Have you taken pictures of it?
Oh, don't take no pictures of your vagina, y'all. It's
no.
2017.
I ain't going that far.
They hacking your phone.
That's what I'm saying.
Use a mirror.
Yeah.
Don't put the iPhone down.
Take a picture with your eyes.
That will end up on the iCloud. Leave your vagina out the iCloud, please.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so first you want to know what it looks like. Then you want to know, okay,
Check.
during the time of the month, you want to know what it secretes. So some of us have a normal discharge. You want to know, okay, is this what it smells like? Some of us may know what it tastes like. That might be a little freaky.
Okay.
No,
Oh.
no.
Okay, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then
Can't say
during your
that.
cycle, you're gonna have various amounts of discharge. So you want to know, is this normal?
Right.
Is this? Do I have a lot of discharge? Is my vagina dry this month? Like, you know, you want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Wow, a dry vagina. How can someone have a dry? What does it mean to have a dry vagina? I'm not familiar with that.
Well, if you don't have discharge,
Ah.
your hydration, number one.
Right.
If you're on certain medications,
Yeah.
birth control pills, antibiotics,
So
various things can change your.
is it normal then to be even somewhat lubricated then?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. So you need to know what your normal is like down there.
Right.
So how
What's
do
your
you
normal?
prevent a dry vagina? You drink plenty of water.
Definitely. So it's just all about healthy. You want to maintain an overall health. Yeah.
Okay.
And is it true that certain foods also have an impact on the way
the
we
smell.
smell?
Oh,
yes.
pineapple.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about the
Taste.
pineapple.
Yeah, let's go
Oh,
there,
yes. See,
pineapple,
so that's where I
honey.
went with the taste. You even mentioned the taste buds, right?
Hey.
So we have normal bacteria, or we like to call it flora and fauna down there.
Oh.
Flora and fauna.
I
Sounds
thought
like
that was-
potpourri or something.
I thought it was only for plants.
So if you drink a lot of water and you eat a lot of fruits, this tends to like neutralize those different bacteria down there. And so you have that kind of diluted little sweet flavor.
Okay.
Okay, now I have to ask, right? While growing up, I always saw douche on the shelves at the grocery store, but I read countless articles that actually advise women not to use douche because your vagina cleans itself and it causes yeast infection and things like that. So
Right,
I've
right.
always been afraid of douche, but it's still selling. So what's the 411
Yeah.
on douche?
Please.
Why would you douche? What is the reason behind advertising for douche? If you practice safe sexual habits, there's no
Right.
reason to douche.
Okay.
Right.
Douching is saying that something is wrong down there.
Okay.
The vagina is almost maybe the only organ that actually cleanses itself.
Okay.
It's even cleaner than the mouth.
You know,
You have to clean your mouth every day, twice a day, as a matter of
Your
fact.
vagina is cleaner than your mouth.
Is
Wow.
it?
that's interesting.
That's an interesting fact.
Yeah, because I never understood. Never mind.
Now, don't forget, the vagina isn't just what you see. The vagina goes straight inside to the cervix.
Okay.
It's about,
right.
yeah.
All right.
It's all connected.
So let's talk to the virgins out there. Now, tell us, can a virgin actually get an STD?
What is a virgin in 2017?
Good question, Doc. What is a virgin?
This is hot.
Let's seriously break it down. No, really. What is considered by medical terms a virgin?
Okay, back in the day,
Back in the day, I love it.
She's like, back in the day.
when sex only considered a vaginal sex, then, okay, you were a virgin if you didn't have vaginal penetration.
Right.
Now we have oral sex, we have anal sex, and we have vaginal sex. So girls or females nowadays feel as if they don't have vaginal sex, they may be considered virgins. But the fact of the matter is, if you're having anal sex, if you're participating, in oral sex, you can develop STDs, yeah.
Right. So that leads me to the question I guess you just answered the question I wanted to know, is oral sex safe sex? But considering all the things that are out there,
Floating around.
I guess we already know the answer to that.
Oral sex is not safe sex.
Wow. So is mono still a thing too? Because I remember too, like people saying, you know, you used to see someone with night fever, and I got the shock of my life one day when someone was like, I've never had it, just saying, but someone was like, oh, that's not night fever, that's herpes.
Mono is a type of herpes.
Wow.
But just like HPV, where there's various strains of a type of virus,
Wow.
herpes, the night fever or the sore, is a different type of the herpes virus.
Is that like
Okay.
jungle fever?
What is jungle fever?
no.
And she's so
Just
proud
a
of that
joke.
question.
No,
Just
honey.
like,
Just
is
a
that
joke.
like
But okay,
It's just a joke.
Dr. Rosie, I've got a question then. So, because interestingly enough, I sometimes work with youth, and I had this question presented to me before. A young lady had asked me if she is performing fellatio, and a gentleman happens to have, say, a visible sore, for example, would she then contract something?
There is quite a possibility, yes.
And this is what I
Girl,
told her.
run from the sore. No,
This
run
is
from
what
the
I
sore.
told her.
If you're performing such an activity and you see something on the penis, why are you even going to go there?
Why, girl?
Yeah.
Why do you even want to touch it?
Can
This
I
is
At least
true.
she's doing it in the daylight or with sunlight.
Ladies, please do it
That
with the
you can
lights
at least
on.
see,
You
right?
gotta inspect the vibe. Not like,
If
you
the
can't play
lights
with
were
your
off
lights.
and you felt it, then, but no.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Please don't.
on the same topic then of preventing STDs, what are some things that women can definitely do, if they are sexually active, to ensure that they're not contracting anything suspicious?
Well, we know a lot of girls are sexually active. It's kind of taboo in our nation. We're still supposed to practice abstinence. Come on, reality check. We
Right.
have a lot of teenagers practicing
Yeah,
sexual
sexual
activities.
behavior. Yeah.
The U.S. even came out with their data that about 1 in 3 teenagers practice sexual activities, particularly oral sex.
Yeah.
So we need sex education for sure.
Big time.
Definitely.
Okay,
so what are
It's
some of-
happening.
So what are some of the things that they can do to prevent, STDs?
They always say use protection, condoms. A lot of people don't like to use condoms. Decrease your partners.
Yeah.
Try stick to one.
Can be a thought.
Minimum partners.
Yeah.
You need to consider yourself.
Right.
Like, this is you. You have to live with you for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So you just have to consider that and be safe for who you are.
I want to actually go back for a moment here, going back to the discussion about mono or night fever. Is it possible for somebody, this may sound like a weird question, because again, if somebody has something visible, why go there? But let's just say, is it possible for someone to contract a vaginal infection by having someone with night fever perform oral on them? Does that make sense?
Okay, run that by me again. Run a little faster.
Someone has night fever and they perform oral sex on a female. Is it possible for her to contract a disease from that?
Well, there has been some studies that show, let's not even talk about infections, because people just think just some little simple infection. You can even develop cancers.
Wow.
Cancers of the mouth, tongue, the back of the throat, lips.
Yeah.
You can get from performing oral sex.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
People, I hope
You
you're
heard that.
listening.
So
That's some deep stuff.
No, but then I'm sure we also have a lot of young people out there that it's too late. They've already reached a point where they've gotten some sort of disease. I know that HPV is extremely prevalent
Definitely.
and a lot more people actually get that than anything else. So what would you advise young people to do if, you know, they're living with this, but they're scared to do anything about it?
HPV, the funny thing about HPV is that about 95% of people have come in contact with a strain of HPV in their lifetime,
Wow.
right?
Wow. That's a
So even though
number.
people are scared of HPV and they encourage you to practice safe sexual health, you know, you will clear, there is a chance that you can clear HPV within 2 years. So that's where we go to screening.
Right.
So you're advised to screen at the age of 21, regardless of what age you start to have sex, right? And you are to screen every 3 years because you are, as a young person, 95% chance that you're going to clear that within 2 years.
That's so high.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
The thing is, how long are you really covered for HPV with the vaccine? Because I know that it's a very expensive drug, and you have to have at least 2 of them. Or I think it's a series of 2 or 3 for the HPV vaccine. How long is somebody protected with that?
That is a very controversial, it's still controversial since it came out. If you vaccinate at the age of 11 and 12, they give 2 doses within a matter of a year. Anytime out of that, between 9 and 26, excluding 11 and 12, you give 3 doses. It is expensive.
Yes.
But then again, everything is relative. What is important to you?
Yeah.
Because people spend money on things they want to spend money on.
Yeah, this is true.
Right?
Yeah, it's time to get serious
But there
about your
aren't enough
health.
studies to say how long it's protective for.
Right. Ah.
And then
Interesting.
most vaccines, or that's considering Gardasil, on our side of the word is Gardasil, just say 5 to 10 years. And if you're giving it to your teenager or your child at 9, it's only covering it till 19.
Right. And then she needs to
By
get
that
it again.
age, the statistic shows even if she has sexual relations at 19, there's still like 95% chance she's going to clear that anyway.
That's crazy.
So really, what's the point?
Yeah.
So this is why some countries, Japan even, like they're not even offering or mandating to get the vaccine anymore.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
This is some hot stuff, so we
Sure
definitely
is.
don't want to miss out on some more. We've got Dr. Nosy, that I call her, Dr. Rosie. She's coming back with us right after the break. Stay tuned and don't miss out on all this good vajayjay talk. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to The Stew. If you missed the first segment of the show, you better catch it online. Ladies and gents, we're here talking about some vajayjay talk, according to Janae.
Vajayjay, we're talking about
guys.
vajayjay.
Vagina.
We're talking about vaginas with Dr. Rosie, but as much fun as we're having, it is actually absolutely informative. So first of all, thank you so much for all this information, because ladies, you should know what's happening down there. We want to dive right back into the conversation, and I want to start talking about pap smears.
Okay.
How often is a woman supposed to have a pap smear? When should she have her first pap smear? What is she supposed to look forward to for the whole process?
Back it up a little bit. When should you start to go to gynecologist?
Yes.
Okay, so that's first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. At the age of 13 to 15, you should make your first gynecological appointment. Just to get used to, you know, establish that relationship, get that rapport. You want to get a lot of information. You know, you're developing yourself. You want to talk about sexual habits, prevention, birth control, that sort of stuff. So you want to have that relationship before you decide to
full on.
Lay down on that bed and put those feet in those stirrups.
But
everyone
Rosie,
knows.
Dr. Rosie, we know the type of parents we have in this country. They don't want to realize. I mean, I know my mom. It took my mom a long time to realize that I was a girl, and I probably should be going to the doctor. So I had to take that initiative later on in life.
Definitely.
So I mean, and that's what's happening in this country. How do you convince parents that, hey, regardless of if she's sexually active or not, this is important?
Oh boy. I believe in education, right? I'm not really a gynecologist. I'm not a gynecologist, by the way. I just like to talk about, you just have to talk. Anyone I come into contact with, I just like to make them feel open to talk to me. I'm like a home box, no matter who I talk to, any age, any gender. And we just need to be real with the situation, and we need to make them feel comfortable. Yeah. We have to realize that everyone is participating in certain activities, and we just can't turn our eyes to that.
Yeah. I mean, and that does more harm than good, I would imagine, because if you completely don't talk about it, then they practice irresponsible sexual behavior.
And if you don't, then they're going to get the wrong information
from the wrong places.
The wrong people in the wrong places.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to bring this back full circle to the vajayjay.
Vagina, let's call it vagina.
I'm just using Janae's word, but the vagina. Let's get real. Let's lay it all out on the table. When it comes to things like oral sex, sex toys, engaging in food, using food basically as either lubricants or for foreplay, what are the rules? What are some of the do's and the don'ts, things that we should look for, things that we should perhaps try to avoid?
Rules?
There are no rules.
It depends on the people involved, I don't think there are rules per se.
Well, let's just talk about in terms of what is healthy for the vagina and what's bad, like syrups, for example. Syrups, whipped cream, yogurt.
Yummy.
Are we using these things
Sounds delicious.
for foreplay? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
They can be a good thing. I believe everything in moderation. Some of these things actually have good bacteria-fighting agents in them.
Like?
Honey has some bacteria-fighting agents.
Oh,
yogurt. And these things, actually, if you research natural remedies in treating yeast infections, you will come across using honey and yogurt in the vagina for these purposes.
Okay.
When it comes to sex toys, of course, there's a lot of lubricants, but they're water-based. And they are flavored.
Right.
I can tell you many flavors there are.
Yeah.
So Dr. Rosie, water-based or oil-based?
Water.
Water?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of oil-based products out there. Is that going to cause a yeast infection?
You don't want to throw anything off down there. But the oil-based ones are more for like the body. The skin.
Right. Is it possible for a female to actually be allergic to a condom? Or
Definitely,
some of the
yes.
spermicides?
You have latex allergies, that is for real. But you have condoms in different materials.
Okay.
Right.
We've touched here and there on yeast infections, but for, a lady that's never experienced a yeast infection, how do you know you have a yeast infection?
First of all, you don't have to have sex to have a yeast infection.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah.
How do you know? Your normal is no longer there. You're going to have some itching. You're going to have some burning. You're going to have an abnormal discharge. If you ever seen cottage cheese, when your woman sees cottage cheese coming out of, that's not normal.
Okay. And the smell. You forgot the smell.
Yeah. So you're gonna notice something. You're gonna notice something very much different than what's normal for you.
The vagina's broken.
But let's actually talk about the men. We've been talking about the vajayjay, and that's all fine and well. But what about getting the men involved, and what do they have to do? Let's say, what does a woman need to do?
No sex when you have a yeast infection, okay?
No?
Yeah.
No sex when you have a yeast
bueno.
infection.
No.
No.
Is there a treatment that men need to actually get, and is there something that they should be doing too?
They don't have to. The woman must treat herself, of course. He shouldn't have sex with her no matter what. Like, come on. He's gonna think, oh, you started the treatment. No.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna get it. And then if she gets better and he still has it, then he's going to give it back to her.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's crazy.
But if she goes to the doctor, because you don't have to go to the doctor for yeast infection. You can get the creams over the counter. You can treat the yeast infection yourself.
Man, so listen, so
But if you go to the doctor and you get a pill, and he might give you a pill for your hubby too.
Okay.
the pharmacy experience is a weird one. You know when you go to the pharmacy and you want to order, what should a woman do? You want to order your yeast infection stuff, and then they screaming your name across the thing.
No, but you can go to the
Stuart,
shelf.
your yeast infection thing here, come pick it up.
Man, I think that only happened in the movie.
I'm not sure.
call your
No,
name.
but I mean, in any situation, it's always worse than it feels. So you're like, oh, Lord.
But at least
That
some of the
person's looking exactly at the name of this box that's in this brown paper bag.
Yes.
But at least some of the pharmacies now have the condoms available. Like now the gas stations have them like behind the counter. So you have to ask for them. Like that's what's wrong with us around here.
And then you gotta speak so loudly. They're like, I can't hear you.
Oh, which one do you want?
Down. Yeah.
Like, like I should be able to just go there and pick up what I want.
No, this one. And then they press the button. Man,
You say small or large? I can't hear you.
what is that all about?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna practice safe sex. Definitely no crazy foods in your vajayjay. Go get checked out, ladies. Go see your gynecologist, and then get your pap smears. How often are you supposed to do your pap smears once you're sexually active?
Every 3 years.
Every 3 years.
After the age of 21.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right. Very
But you should see a gynecologist every year.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you find a good one?
Of course, you talk around.
Yeah.
And then you decide, who do you like? Do you like a male doctor or do you like a female doctor? Some people prefer males.
Yeah, because, I was looking in your vagina.
But you know what's another important thing too? The fight between cotton and lace underwear. What type of underwear should you be wearing on a daily basis? Should you not wear underwear at
I
all?
was just say, what about ladies who don't believe in underwear? Let's talk
is
about
that a bad thing?
Yeah.
As long as it's dry, it just needs to breathe. That's been, like when you have yeast
Okay.
infections, it's good to use cotton underwear versus lace or silk.
right.
Because it just needs to have that airflow.
Gotcha.
So underwear is optional.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and kind of stay away from the tight-fitting clothing, so
Don't
you can
chafe.
let
Don't
it
get chafed.
breathe.
Don't chafe your bread.
Definitely.
I mean your vagina.
Let it breathe. Let it breathe. Oh my goodness, this has been such an amazing conversation, Doc. You know what? You need to come back. We need to make this like a quarterly thing for sure. Because this conversation is so awesome, and perhaps next time we can dedicate a little more time to men. Because we still, of course, love you too, gentlemen. But thank you so much, Dr. Rosie.
Thank you, Rosie.
It's been an awesome time. We've got more stew coming up after the break, so don't you go anywhere. We'll see you after this.
Hey guys, you're watching The Stew, and this is your Style Minute, brought to you by Shop the CC. Here are 3 cool outfits that you can wear this summer to stay cool. Graphic tees and pencil skirts, satin dresses and chokers, printed skirts and tank tops. 1, 2, 3, you're all ready for summer. This has been your Style Minute.
Thank you once again for tuning into The Stew. Be sure to catch up on all the episodes that you have missed. We are on Facebook, The Stew Daytime, and of course, across social media, ILTV Studios. And thank you so much, Dr. Roseanne Knowles, for stopping by and imparting such knowledge upon us and sharing all of those details about the vagina and sexual health. Ladies, was there anything that you learned that you didn't know before? Anything that shocked you?
Remember to just keep the lights on, and please do not put your vagina on the iCloud. Just use a mirror. Just check it out with a mirror in your bathroom or in your bedroom, ladies.
Yes.
And to avoid bananas.
Yes. And of course, go and see your doctors, ladies. regularly, you know, if you're over 13 and 15, go and get yourself checked out, make an appointment with a gynecologist. And moms, don't be afraid. They're growing up. Your babies are growing up. You want them to be healthy. Anyway, it's been a fabulous show. Thank you as always for watching us here on The Stew. We will see you next time.
When the vibe is right, we can talk about anything you like. Just listen. Take a walk right over to my kitchen. Oh.